Good evening and welcome everyone to the third session for the September batch. It's so very nice to see all of the interaction on the WhatsApp group on the community. Those who are having certain health goals, and if you're not yet presenting your plates, or if you're not yet sharing the goals, I would request you to participate, because when you do participate, or rather share, is when you will actually monitor, and that's how the mentors will be able to actually guide you all. So yes, today we have a very interesting topic, and very critical. Our main speaker who's going to be speaking on this topic, I owe my, the realization that health is, of course, important. We all know it. But the realization that I could gain control on my health, Raj Watts, he introduced me to this concept that, anyone can take care of their health through certain simple ways. Raj has been, in some very senior posts in the corporate world. But he very soon realized that if he didn't understand more about health and take control of his health, and of course, get some flexibility in his own lifestyle and all, there's nowhere to go, right? So he started understanding the subject, and of course, through various, inputs from Farooq, from, the scientists and all of that, from reading books, he is now an expert helping many others to change their life, okay, their health for better. But before we call upon Raj, I would request folks, please, I would be inviting our esteemed mentor, our esteemed coach, Farooq Tarapur. But before that, I would request everyone, whoever can, please switch on your cameras, because folks, we presenters, hum aate hai once in 3 weeks, or, whatever it is. But it is our privilege, and, we are so fortunate that we are getting the guidance from a double world champion in the sport of sailing. We are getting the time of an Arjuna awardee, a three-time Olympian. He's sharing his experience from 40 years, more than that, of course, but he has had 40 years of active sporting career. Matlab kya hai? 40 साल उन्होंने, literally he has participated at international level. Can I've not known, I don't, you can Google, and I'm sure you will not get anyone who's been touchwood as fit as him. You don't need to touchwood, because he's always ensuring that he's fit. But let's give him the respect and, the talia, and welcome the Farooq to share his, views and tidbits for us for the next few days. Over to you, Farooq.
Thank you, Veda. And good evening, everyone. Welcome to this exciting Monday session. Today, we are going to talk about N.E.A.T. And what I've got to say is that because technology has advanced, life has become so sedentary that we have got to start thinking now in the opposite direction. See, first, it was all about convenience. Can we make can we change something to make it more convenient for us? And now the convenience has become, so convenient that we have not realized that convenience has started to become inconvenient. Now, whether you drive a Mercedes or a BMW or an Audi, okay, or a Lamborghini, you ultimately still have to go to the gym and, do some aerobic exercise. You have to start now thinking from the other direction. Based on convenience.
Hello? We're losing you a little bit.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's better now. You can,
all right.
Yeah.
So everything is based on, on convenience. So we got to start thinking a little bit in the opposite direction and start thinking that what can I do on a daily basis to increase my physical activity. For example, if you got to go to a bank, just don't go sit into a car and be driven to the, to the branch. You can probably just walk it down. Or if you need to do something, like you made a really nice chair for your workplace, you can decide to not sit on it completely, but sometimes stand, maybe raise your table a little bit more so that you can stand also and do the work, and you can sit also and can do the work. But you got to now, you start having this Apple watches which tells you time to move around, you said too much. Can you imagine that how much we have moved in the wrong direction, that we need now a watch to tell us that we need to start moving? It's time to drink, it's time to exercise, it's time to move. So in your own way, start thinking a little differently. Stop looking at convenience, stop looking at things which are comfort. Comfort is overrated. Okay. You can, in the name of comfort, you can really lose your health. Time to start thinking uncomfortable. The more uncomfortable you are, the better will be your health. Okay. So change your mindset and you will notice that your health automatically starts to improve. The minute the person gets into the sedentary lifestyle, it is the beginning of the end. The body starts rusting. And if you rust, if you lie idle, you rust, you die. So I really encourage you to, start thinking a little differently. Start thinking as to how I can, in my day-to-day activity, how I can, create some more exercise automatically. And the other thing that we need to be focused on is the way we start preparing our food. Last time we spoke a lot about, remove the Teflon vessels from the house, make sure that you are replacing it with probably, stainless steel. And if you can't have stainless steel, replace it with ceramic. There are 3 other options available. And today we're going to speak a little bit more on that. And that is that when you are preparing your food, okay, God made nutrition, men found a way to destroy nutrition. So we need to start thinking again as to what we need to do to keep that little nutrition that is there in the food. And the best way you can do that is to ensure that whatever you are cooking, you cook on the slowest flame. Okay. Many vessels, they will write that, use medium to low flame. I would say, don't listen to that. Don't go to even medium. Everything should be cooked on the slowest, whatever you have, on your, whatever system that you have for cooking, make sure that you are using only one knob, one side of the knob. Try and keep everything on, cook your food on a very, very slow heat. That is one way of ensuring that whatever little nutrition is left in your food, your body is able to get it. Today, you're going to listen from, somebody whose whole concept about life and his dream life was to move from, a Mercedes Benz to into a helicopter or, or a BMW. And that's it. That was his idea of life. Till he soon realized that that is having a tremendous impact on his health. And he soon found a way to find the right balance. He started working on it gradually. And now he sort of makes sure that he, exercises, he eats right. He's got a lot of knowledge on nutrition. So, without wasting much of his time, listen to Raj very carefully, because what Raj has to say would have a significant impact on your health. So thank you for listening to me, and over to you, Raj.
Thank you very much, Farooq. And thanks, Veda, for that warm introduction. Good evening, everybody. Welcome. As introduced, I'm Raj. I'm connecting to you all from Gurgaon. And today's session is really going to be very, very interesting. You heard from Farooq that God created nutrition, and we human, we have figured out all the possible ways to destroy it. Now, Farooq also, man, now what a coincidence, because I was going to start my talk today with Apple Watch only. And see what a coincidence that somewhere we think uh, alike. So, impact of lifestyle on body clock and importance of need, right? Now, मुझे नहीं पता आप लोग में से कितने लोगों ने इस बार on 9th of September you saw the launch of Apple. And what I was telling what me and my son, because we were very excited to see this launch, and every year we see this launch. And this year, me and my son, we were discussing that how they are creating the whole thing around health now. राइट अगर आपने उनके एयरपॉड्स को सुना और डेफिनेटली आई एम नॉट प्रमोटिंग एप्पल ओवर हियर बट व्हाट आई वांट टू से इज वन ऑफ द वर्ल्ड्स बिगेस्ट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन इज क्रिएटिंग द होल टेलीकॉम का रिवोल्यूशन अराउंड हेल्थ and the watch is talking about the sleep apnea and your sleep behavior, sleep cycle and everything. You know, आज से 2 महीना पहले मैं एबर्ट को स्टडी कर रहा था। उस टाइम में मैं वो डायबिटीज की जो मेजरिंग जो चिप होती है मैं उसके बारे में स्टडी कर रहा था। एंड वन थिंग दैट कम्स टू माय माइंड इज वी आर सो फॉर्चुनेट व्हेन वी आर अ पार्ट ऑफ दिस होल कम्युनिटी, बिकॉज एवरीबडी इज टॉकिंग अबाउट मेजरमेंट, बट वो मेजरमेंट करने के बाद करेंगे क्या? So we have the solution to all the this global health challenges that we are talking about. And I'm very fortunate because almost a month ago we had an opportunity of visiting the manufacturing plant, and कितना ahead of the time are we thinking? So we are very fortunate because you know आप measure कर लीजिए, आप diabetes measure कर लीजिए, आप sleep measure कर लीजिए, आप weighing scale पे weight measure कर लीजिए. So measurement तो हो गया, but what is the solution or where is the solution all about? So today we are going to talk about impact of lifestyle on body clock and importance of NEAT. Now, you know, what is impact of lifestyle on our body clock? So पहले body clock की क्या importance है, ये हम अभी जानेंगे। और हमने ऑलरेडी पिछले सेशंस में थोड़ा बहुत इसको कवर भी किया है दैट व्हाट इज द इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ बॉडी क्लॉक एंड हाउ आवर लाइफस्टाइल इम्पैक्ट्स आवर बॉडी क्लॉक। सो हमारा जो बॉडी क्लॉक है दैट गेट्स इम्पैक्टेड बाय फिजिकल एक्टिविटी, स्लीप, फूड, स्ट्रेस, स्क्रीन टाइम, लेट नाइट स्नैकिंग। यू नो, फिजिकल एक्टिविटी पे बहुत बार कंफ्यूजन होता है कि इज मॉर्निंग वॉक गुड और शुड वी गो एट नाइट। नाउ अगर आप इस चीज को समझोगे, बॉडी क्लॉक को समझोगे, तो ये अपने आप ही आंसर हो जाता है दैट फिजिकल एक्टिविटी का पॉजिटिव इम्पैक्ट कब ज्यादा मिलता है। इज इट ड्यूरिंग द मॉर्निंग टाइम और इज इट ड्यूरिंग द लेट इवनिंग, right? So this is some of the impact that we have of the lifestyle on our body clock. Now body clock hota kya hai? Now there is one which is the central body clock and there is organ wise body clock hota hai, matlab. So we have one main clock and then we have organ wise we have clock. Now लाइट का इसके ऊपर बहुत ज्यादा इम्पैक्ट पड़ता है। सो व्हेन वी गेट अप इन द मॉर्निंग, सो द मेन ब्रेन का जो बॉडी जो क्लॉक है वो बाकी ऑर्गन के क्लॉक को ट्रिगर करता है ना। आप देखोगे कि कैसे हर ऑर्गन अपना रिस्पेक्टिव जो रोल है वो प्ले करना शुरू करता है। जो हमारे हार्मोन्स है, जो स्लीप हार्मोन पैटर्न है, जो टेम्परेचर पैटर्न है, ये सारी चीजें। सो जब ब्रेन ट्रिगर करता है व्हेन वी गेट अप इन द मॉर्निंग एंड दैट ट्रिगर्स द वेरियस ऑर्गन्स, एंड अगर आप देखोगे तो इस तरीके से वो सारी चीज इम्पैक्ट होती है। सो बॉडी क्लॉक का एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रोल है जो हमारी बॉडी में प्ले करता है। डाइट से ये इम्पैक्ट होता है, एक्सरसाइज से इम्पैक्ट होता है। सो मेन थिंग दैट यू नीड टू नो इज वी हैव समथिंग कॉल्ड अ बॉडी क्लॉक, एंड बॉडी क्लॉक को मेंटेन करना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है हमारे हेल्थ के लिए। Now, फर्क क्या पड़ती है? Now, benefits of daytime physical activity on the body clock and health, basically इसका क्या benefit होता है? So जो हमारी मोटर एक्टिविटी होती है, like your exercise strengthens the main clock's daily pattern, ठीक है। हमारी जो एक्टिविटी है वो हमारे सर्काडियन रिदम को रोबस्ट बनाती है और वो हमारे वेलबींग को पॉजिटिवली इम्पैक्ट करती है। सो जो 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 मॉर्निंग की जो फिजिकल एक्टिविटी है, अगर आप देखिए, सो आउटडोर एक्टिविटी इंक्रीजेस एक्सपोजर टू नेचुरल ब्राइट लाइट। Now, this is very, very important because a lot of people think that ट्रेडमिल हमारे घर में है, सो हम घर में ही अगर बालकनी में या घर के अंदर अगर हम ट्रेडमिल वॉक कर लें तो इज इट नॉट गुड? बट यू नो, यू नीड टू हैव एक्सपोजर ऑफ नेचुरल ब्राइट लाइट। Timely exercise improves balance of your daily rhythm. It also helps in better balance of your body temperature. Regular activity may help to maintain food regime. So ये वो चीज़ है जो अगर आप देखेंगे कि जो चीज़ें हैं जो अगर आप अपनी फिजिकल एक्टिविटी पे फोकस करेंगे तो आपकी बॉडी क्लॉक को इम्पैक्ट करता है, और जब पॉजिटिव ये सारी चीज़ों को इम्पैक्ट करता है। Now, you know, we have our brain gets impacted by the daylight and the रात को जो होता है, because ये एक पूरा साइकिल है। जैसे आप जब सुबह उठते हैं और जो बॉडी क्लॉक आपका ट्रिगर करता है, हाउ योर बॉडी फंक्शंस, एंड देन इट गोज फॉर नाइट, you know. Now, but there is a good news and a bad news. The good news is our eye, like our brain, has got these things which controls our body clock, circadian rhythm. बट लेकिन अगर आप देखिए आजकल जो हम लेट नाइट टीवी देखते हैं, वो जो ब्लू लाइट होती है जो टीवी की है, जो हम लेट नाइट स्क्रीन को देते हैं, हमारा बॉडी नहीं आइडेंटिफाई करता है कि इट इज नाउ द सनसेट हो चुका है, एंड इट इज नाउ द नाइट टाइम, एंड द बॉडी हैज टू रिलीज सर्टेन हार्मोन्स एंड ऑल द स्टफ. सो कहीं ना कहीं इट स्टार्ट्स इम्पैक्टिंग योर बॉडी क्लॉक. एंड इसका अगर आप देखेंगे तो बहुत ज्यादा असर होता है. यू नो, आई नो मेरे मेरे फ्रेंड के बच्चे हैं जो सुबह मॉर्निंग 5 o'clock तक दे आर प्लेइंग कंप्यूटर गेम्स. एंड एक को मैंने ऐसे पूछा, उसके डैड को, जो मेरा फ्रेंड है, मैंने बोला यार आप सुबह 5 बजे तक कंप्यूटर पे गेम खेल रहे हो. तो बोलता है क्या फर्क पड़ता है, वो 6 बजे बच्चा सो जाएगा, 12-1 बजे तक सोता रहेगा, तो उसको अपनी नींद ही तो पूरी करनी है. ना, प्रॉब्लम ये नहीं है कि आपको सिर्फ नींद पूरी करनी है, प्रॉब्लम ये है कि जो आपका बॉडी क्लॉक है वो जिस पैटर्न पे काम करता है आप उसको डिस्टर्ब कर रहे हो, और जब वो डिस्टर्ब हो जाएगा तो आपके सारे हार्मोनल इम्बैलेंसेस शुरू हो जाएंगे, आपके पूरे ऑर्गन हेल्थ के ऊपर इसका बहुत ज्यादा इम्पैक्ट पड़ने लगता है. So it is very, very important, especially if you're a part of this program, that 2 hours before the sleep time, be off the screen, and screen time को reduce कर लीजिए at least 2 hours before going to the bed. And it is very, very important if you follow these steps. राइट. नाउ हेल्थ इम्पैक्ट विद स्लीप डिस्टर्बेंस. नाउ अगर आपकी स्लीप डिस्टर्ब होगी तो क्या होगा? ऑब्वियसली अगर आपका बॉडी क्लॉक वो पैटर्न नहीं फॉलो कर रहा है, आप उसको बार बार डिस्टर्ब करेंगे, सो यू विल हैव अ डिलेड स्लीप वेक फेज, यू विल हैव अ इरेगुलर स्लीप वेक रिदम, और आपका जेट लैग रहेगा, आपके शिफ्ट वर्क में आपको प्रॉब्लम्स आएंगी. एंड अगर आप देखिए, सो व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय डिस्टर्ब बॉडी क्लॉक? फटीग, मूड प्रॉब्लम्स, डिक्रीज मेंटल कैपेबिलिटीज, metabolic disorders, low performance, gastrointestinal issues, and low alertness. आप ये सारी चीजों में अगर आप देखेंगे तो ग्रेजुअली आपको असर आने लगता है. Right? So it is very important even for parents to know if your kids are small, or even if you have adult kids, or like it is very important to know that what is the importance of following this body clock, because इसके बहुत सारे implications हैं. And even an organization like Apple realize the sleep disturbance so important कि इस बार जो Apple Watch launch हुई है उसमें कहीं ना कहीं sleep को उन्होंने सबसे ज्यादा importance दी है उसमें, like sleep apnea and all those stuff. So the sleep plays a very, very important role. And you'll be surprised to know that post-COVID, our average sleep in India has come down to almost 3.5 hours. So people are not getting right sleep. उनके patterns disturb हो गए हैं, and इससे बहुत सारे health related challenges आ रहे हैं. Right? Sometimes late night food cravings simply mean you need to go to the sleep earlier. So कई बार क्या होता है, हमें बहुत बार ये लेट नाइट फूड क्रेविंग होती है और हम उसको डिफरेंशिएट नहीं कर पाते कि इज इट बिकॉज ऑफ द स्लीप, और इज इट वी आर गेटिंग दोस क्रेविंग्स फॉर फूड. And hence it also impacts on our health, be it obesity, diabetes, or any other health related issue. Right? So late night snacking. Now, agar aapka meal timing regular hai, now this is one of the most important things I have picked up since I've joined this program, and I was studying about this whole program. And जब मैं इसको किया, because पहले मेरी आदत ये थी कि अगर मैं कहीं भी चला जाऊँ, मैं कुछ भी खा लूँ, I used to control my portion of food. I used to never see what time or what I'm eating. Like अगर मैं किसी का ऑफिस चला गया और उधर कुछ चाय स्नैक्स आ गए, तो I don't mind having picking up a biscuit over there. But now after reading this, you need to have a very, very regular timing of your food. And we are going to have a special session on this, जहाँ पे फारूक आपको एक्सप्लेन करेंगे कि why is it important, जब आप अपने फूड टाइम को जब मैनेज करते हो तो वो कैसे हमारे हेल्थ पे इम्पैक्ट करता है. पहले जो राइट साइड आप देख रहे हो, इरेगुलर टाइमिंग ऑफ द फूड, ये मेरी पैटर्न थी. आई वॉज कंट्रोलिंग द पोर्शन बट नॉट टाइमिंग ऑफ द फूड. बट नाउ समवेयर वी आर स्टार्टेड फॉलोइंग इवन द टाइमिंग ऑफ द फूड. सो फर्क क्या पड़ता है इससे? Food intake pattern aligns with the body clock rhythms, balances your metabolic process. Now, see, this is very, very important. Versus on the other side, food intake pattern misaligns with the body clock rhythms, causing circadian disruption and deregularization of metabolic processes. So what it means is कि अगर आप कभी भी खा लोगे तो घड़ी घड़ी बॉडी को वो पूरा प्रोसेस करने के लिए इट्स नॉट प्रिपेयर्ड. एंड जब आप उसको कभी भी इरेगुलर फूड डाल दे, तो कभी भी डाल दोगे, बॉडी को पूरा मेटाबोलाइज करने के लिए उसको पूरी शुरुआत करनी पड़ती है. एंड दिस इज व्हाट डिस्टर्ब्स द होल पैटर्न. एंड अगर आप इसका देखिए तो आपके बहुत सारी चीजें लाइक आपकी डायबिटिक वैल्यू जो ऊपर नीचे है। आई हैव अ फ्रेंड ऑफ माइन जिसकी डायबिटिक वो मतलब रेंज कभी भी इधर उधर होती थी, उसका अप टू ऑलमोस्ट 30 to 40% कंट्रोल में आ गया, जस्ट बाय मैनेजिंग दिस एट व्हाट टाइम इज ही हैविंग हिज फूड, राइट? सो दिस इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग. Now, some of the tips to avoid late night snacking: plan balanced meal with high protein and fiber. राइट ना, अगर आप प्रोटीन और फाइबर ले रहे हो तो आपकी फूड क्रेविंग्स ऐसे ही नहीं होगी, लेट नाइट स्नैकिंग ऐसे ही नहीं होगी. स्टैब्लिश अ रूटीन, दिस इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. आइडेंटिफाई द ट्रिगर्स, दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. बिकॉज अगर आप ट्रिगर को नहीं आइडेंटिफाई करोगे, फिर वो क्रेविंग आना बहुत नॉर्मल है, और फिर आप यू विल अगेन फॉल इन दैट ट्रैप, यू नो. क्रिएट अ रिलैक्सिंग बेड टाइम रूटीन, इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. Mindful eating, limit screen time, get adequate sleep, keep healthy snacks on hand, you know. So these are some of the tips which will help you to avoid late night snacking. And you know, a decision and water is your best substitute. मुझे बहुत ज़्यादा होता था कि मैं क्रेविंग्स मेरे को बहुत होती थी, एंड फारूक टॉट मी ओनली वन थिंग कि कभी भी क्रेविंग होए, फर्स्ट हैव अ ग्लास ऑफ वाटर, 10 minutes आफ्टर दैट डिसाइड इफ द क्रेविंग इज स्टिल देयर और नो. एंड मेरी क्रेविंग खत्म हो गई जस्ट बाय इंक्रीजिंग द वाटर इनटेक विच आई यूज्ड टू टेक, राइट? हेल्थ, कैफीन कंजम्पशन का हमारे हेल्थ पे क्या फर्क पड़ता है, यू नो. बहुत सारे लोग कॉर्पोरेट में, स्पेशली इन द कॉर्पोरेट, या इवन इफ यू आर अ होम मेकर, हमारी हैबिट हो जाती है कॉफ़ी, ब्लैक कॉफ़ी, ग्रीन टी, टी. बट यू नो, कहीं ना कहीं हमारा कैफीन कंजम्पशन के ऊपर जो हमारा डिपेंडेंसी है, दैट इज इंक्रीजिंग. सो कैफीन क्या करता है हमारे हेल्थ पे? इट डिलेज ऑनसेट ऑफ योर स्लीप, नंबर वन. एंग्जाइटी, हेडेक को इंक्रीज करता है. नाउ, हेडेक को कैसे इंक्रीज कर रहा है? बिकॉज एनी टाइप ऑफ कैफीन, इट विल टेक आउट, लाइक आपका वाटर कम हो जाता है बॉडी में, एंड देन यू नीड टू टेक अ लॉट ऑफ वाटर टू मेंटेन दैट. सो कहीं ना कहीं बिकॉज ऑफ लैक ऑफ वाटर आपका हेडेक होना शुरू हो जाता है. डिस्टर्ब बॉडी क्लॉक एंड हार्ट बर्न. सो ये कुछ कैफीन के साइड इफेक्ट्स हैं. नाउ इट डजेंट मैटर वेदर यू आर हैविंग कॉफी, ब्लैक कॉफी, ये कॉफी, वो कॉफी, कहीं ना कहीं कैफीन का हमारे हेल्थ के ऊपर इम्पैक्ट है, right? So you need to be really very cautious in choosing or limiting the amount that we consume on a day-to-day basis. Now, impact of caffeine on sleep duration, clinical study है, जब आप 2 cup coffee पीते हो, roughly around 400 mg of caffeine. So now what's the summary of this slide is, कहीं ना कहीं जो caffeine है, it disturbs our sleep and sleep duration को, and कहीं ना कहीं because of the sleep, it creates an indirect impact on our health negatively. So caffeine like 400 mg before sleep lowers the sleep duration even when taken 6 hours before the bedtime. So कहीं ना कहीं ये जो कॉफी की जो हमारी आदत हो गई है, जो एडिक्शन हो गई है, ये कहीं ना कहीं हमारे स्लीप पैटर्न को बहुत ज्यादा डिस्टर्ब कर रही है. एंड ऑब्वियसली बिकॉज ऑफ दैट इट ऑल्सो इम्पैक्ट्स ऑन आवर हेल्थ. सो impact on sleep quality, more disturbance. Now, tips for reducing caffeine intake: switch to decaf, limit consumption, timing adjustments, drink water. This is the best substitute, pani pijiye. And healthy snacks and beverages, check labels, try herbal tea. We don't recommend even the, ठीक है, herbal tea पीना है तो आप उसके बदले गर्म पानी पी लीजिए, थोड़ा सा लेमन डाल के उसमें. But you need to know that why it is important and how it can have a. Now, एक दो दिन, एक दो कप से नहीं ये असर पड़ता है, but एक दो कप over a period in the next 20 years, definitely it is going to have a significant impact on your health. मुझे ऐसे पहले लगता था, आई मूव टू दिल्ली एंड आई सेड कि नहीं नहीं, अगर हम किसी के घर जा रहे हैं और अगर वो चाय दे रहा है, मना कर दे तो अच्छा नहीं लगता है. नाउ तो आई सी इट एज एन अदर वे अराउंड अपॉर्चुनिटी. इनफैक्ट इट गिव्स मी एन अपॉर्चुनिटी टू टेल द अदर पर्सन कि भाई इसको कम कर दो, बिकॉज ये आपकी भी हेल्थ पे असर करने वाला है, राइट? Now, exposure to screen time. We discussed this, the blue light जो होता है, blue light exposure होता है, कहीं ना कहीं हमारे ब्रेन को वो रीड ही नहीं करने देता है कि the sunset has happened and now it's time to go to the bed. And अगर आप वो जो पूरे हार्मोनल जो बैलेंस होते हैं, जो बेसिकली रात को होने हैं, वो सारे डिस्टर्ब हो जाते हैं, बिकॉज ऑफ विच बहुत ज़्यादा हार्मोनल इम्बैलेंस शुरू हो जाता है. बी इट किड्स, बी इट एडल्ट्स, बी इट अ वर्किंग प्रोफेशनल. बट कहीं ना कहीं ओवर एक्सपोजर ऑफ स्क्रीन टाइम has created this, an absence of blue light. तो अगर आप इसको देखें तो ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है इसको समझने की. एंड इफ यू आर अ वर्किंग प्रोफेशनल, आप इसको, it's better to know what the impacts are rather than be in that unknown area or unknown zone, right? Be ignorant about it. उससे better है कि at least you'll make the right choices in the decision that you need to know. impact of blue light on the circadian rhythm ये क्या होता है. So again I'll not go much into the detail of this, but definitely हमने इसके बारे में बार बार बात किया है कि blue light कैसे हमारे sleep disorders मतलब sleep pattern को disturb करता है, and indirectly it impacts our health. Right now, some tips to reduce, you don't need any tip if you don't take any decision. Now, बहुत सारे लोगों की आदत है कि रात को बिना टीवी देखे नींद ही नहीं आते. I know of a person, he's a very, very senior guy he was earlier in defense, now he's got his own organization that is running. And वो बोलते हैं कि अगर मैं रात को 1-2 घंटा सोने से पहले टीवी नहीं देखूं, मेरे को नींद ही नहीं आती. और फिर मैंने बोला कि आप सोते कितने बजे? बोलते हैं मैं नॉर्मली 12 बजे टीवी देखता हूँ और 2 बजे सो जाता हूँ. ना इमेजिन करिए अगर आपका ब्लू लाइट एक्सपोजर ऐसा है ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम, इमेजिन करिए व्हाट इम्पैक्ट कैन इट क्रिएट ऑन योर हेल्थ. So, and no tips can work for you if you don't take the right decision, and you don't need any tip if you take the right decision. So the choice is yours, right? नाउ क्रॉनिक स्ट्रेस एंड बॉडी क्लॉक, कई बार क्या होता है कि अगर हमारा एक थॉट आ जाता है हमारे दिमाग में, और वो थॉट जो है वो थिंकिंग में कन्वर्ट हो जाता है, और वो जो थिंकिंग है वो कहीं ना कहीं वो स्ट्रेस को लेके आ जाता है, और वो स्ट्रेस का हमारे बॉडी पे बहुत ज़्यादा असर पड़ता है, इन द बॉडी क्लॉक एंड ऑल दो स्टफ इफ यू सी. सो इट इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू नो दैट हमारे जो स्ट्रेस है उसके ट्रिगर्स क्या क्या हैं, एंड कहीं ना कहीं वी नीड टू लर्न दैट हाउ वी कैन कंट्रोल देम करेक्टली. बिकॉज स्ट्रेस का भी हमारे बॉडी क्लॉक के ऊपर बहुत ज्यादा असर होता है, एंड इट डिस्टर्ब्स आवर एंटायर सर्काडियन रिदम एंड द स्लीप पैटर्न दैट वी हैव. सो सम ऑफ द टिप्स टू रिड्यूस स्ट्रेस, मेरा ये बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज था आज से 2 महीने पहले तक, बिकॉज अगर कोई थॉट आ जाए तो थॉट से थिंकिंग स्टार्ट होती थी, एंड लाइक समवेयर आई विल गेट इनटू दैट होल प्रोसेस एंड इट विल क्रिएट स्ट्रेस फॉर मी. एंड सम ऑफ द थिंग दैट deliberately I've learned through this program is to control your stress levels. And some tips to control that is exercise regularly, प्रैक्टिस डीप ब्रीदिंग. ये मुझे आज से 2-3 महीने पहले तक इतना मैं इसको इंपॉर्टेंस नहीं देता था, डीप ब्रीदिंग को जितना मैं अब देता हूँ. गेट इनफ एंड एडिक्वेट स्लीप, right? Eat healthy, take breaks, engage in your hobbies. This is very important point, engage in your hobbies and practice mindfulness and meditations. So it is very important to know all those stuff, because कहीं ना कहीं unknowingly ये हमारे हेल्थ को बहुत ज्यादा इम्पैक्ट कर रहा है. एंड अगर आप ये सारी चीजों को देखो, द ब्लू लाइट एक्सपोजर, योर स्ट्रेस लेवल, योर डिस्टर्बेंस इन द स्लीप, no medicine or no doctor can help with this unless and until you decide to build the right habits. And we are very fortunate, because when you become a part of the community, you start and you learn from others also. When you're a part of this WhatsApp community, that when you're part of that community, you learn from others experiences, जैसे उनके कैसे हेल्थ में बेनिफिट्स मिली है, and that gives you that encouragement that we also build the right habits for ourselves. How to regulate the circadian rhythm? Exercise regularly, stick to regular bedtime and wake up time. Now this is very, very important. Avoid caffeine in the afternoon and evening. Avoid screen time at least 2 hours before the bedtime. Manage your stress well. Avoid late night snacking. So these are some of the most important things. And now the second most topic that Farooq also spoke about is NEAT. Are you doing NEAT? Now NEAT का मतलब है non exercise activity thermogenesis. Very very important thing. एंड कहीं ना कहीं ये इग्नोर हो गया था, ये मिस हो गया था आज के इस फास्ट पेस लाइफ में. बिकॉज अगर एक सब्जी भी लेने जाना है तो ब्लिंकिट वाले 10 मिनट में डिलीवर कर देते हैं, एंड देन वी रियली वंडर दैट ओ व्हाट अ ग्रेट सर्विस वी हैव गॉट. बट समवेयर व्हाट यू डोंट रियलाइज दैट इट इज significantly impacting our NEAT. So NEAT hota kya hai, right? Let's understand some background before getting into NEAT. So around 40,000 years ago, we were hunters, and normally we used to be physically active for almost 10 to 12 hours per day. Then 10,000 years ago, still we were physically active. हम hunting के लिए जाते थे, ये सब करते थे, तो करीबन 10 से 12 घंटा. Then came the industrial age, where still we were physically active and 8 to 10 hours physical activity per day. But now in this information and technology age, our physical activity in the last 20 years has come down to as good as like 25 minutes per day. Now, don't you feel if something like where we were physically active for 8 to 10 hours, if that has come down to 25 minutes a day, it is going to create some impact on our health. Now, मैं अक्सर अपने नेटिव विलेज में जाता हूँ और वहां पे मैं देखता हूँ कोई जिम नहीं जाता, बट एवरीबडी हैज गॉट अ फ्लैट स्टमक एंड एवरीबडी इज लाइक फिजिकली फिट, बिकॉज द अमाउंट ऑफ फिजिकल एक्टिविटी दैट दे डू, द फिजिकल मूवमेंट ड्यूरिंग द डे दे डू, is that is what is called as NEAT. नाउ आर यू डूइंग नीट? सो बेसिकली नीट का मतलब होता है जो आप एक ऑर्गेनाइज एक्सरसाइज नहीं कर रहे हो बट आप दिन भर जो फिजिकली एक्टिव रहते हो उसको नीट बोलते हैं। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर आप ऑफिस में हो और अगर आप आधे घंटे तक फोन पे बात कर रहे हो, इंस्टेड ऑफ सिटिंग on the at your chair, it makes sense कि आप within your office premises आप walk करते करते बात कर लीजिए। Probably next time अगर मैं ये presentation दिखा रहा हूँ तो 30 minutes instead of sitting on my chair, I'll prefer to stand on a like keep this laptop on a stool or something और मैं खड़े होकर ये बात करूँ। Now this is what we call as NEAT. Now globally an estimated 60 crore adults and 10 crore children were obese in 2015. India is not far behind. Every 1 out of 4 people are obese now. But अगर आप देखिए ओनली बिकॉज ऑफ द नीट जो हम धीरे धीरे नहीं करते जा रहे हैं, हम ज्यादा से ज्यादा टेक्नोलॉजी पे डिपेंड होते जा रहे हैं। अगर आप देखिए सो हाउ द ओबेसिटी परसेंटेज across age group it is increasing day by day, and this is not only in rural, urban, this is also in rural. So कहीं ना कहीं ये जो डिपेंडेंसी है कि अगर एक समोसा, नहीं समोसा गलत चीज है, अगर एक नारियल पानी भी पीना है तो आप उसको ब्लिंकिट से मंगा लेते हो वर्सेस गोइंग टू अ नारियल पानी वाला, वॉकिंग टू दैट प्लेस। सो समवेयर ये जो हम ग्रेजुअली ये कम करते जा रहे हैं, दिस इज व्हाट इज कॉजिंग द ओबेसिटी इंक्रीज डे बाय डे। नाउ नॉन एक्सरसाइज थर्मोजेनेसिस एक्टिविटी क्या होती है? सो बेसिकली ये होता क्या है, इट फोकसेस ऑन इंक्रीजिंग लो लेवल डेली फिजिकल एक्टिविटी। यू नो, अगर आप कभी भी एक छोटे बच्चे को देखिए, वो इधर से उधर भागता रहता है, उछल कूद करता है, दे डोंट, आई एम अ स्मॉल किड, दे डोंट गो टू अ जिम, बट जो वो इधर उधर जंप करते हैं, दैट इज व्हाट इज कॉल्ड नीट। On 13th of September, I was invited for a birthday party. I mean, मेरे friend गया, and that उसका बच्चा जो है वो 5 साल का है, and also obviously all the kids were of the 5 years age bracket and all the young parents were there. I mean, जो ये पेरेंट्स हैं, और मैं देखा कि बच्चे बहुत अच्छे से खेल रहे थे उधर पे इन दैट रेस्टोरेंट लेवल, लाइक जंपिंग हियर देयर। पेरेंट्स, क्योंकि उन बच्चों को बहुत ज्यादा देखना ना पड़े, थोड़ी देर में हर पेरेंट्स ने अपने अपने बच्चे को मोबाइल फोन पकड़ा दिया। थोड़ी देर में उधर 7-8 जितने बच्चे बैठे थे, और वो सारे बच्चे शांति से सब मोबाइल एक एक हाथ में लेके बैठ गए। एंड देन आई वाज टेलिंग दिस पर्सन जिसके बच्चे का बर्थडे था कि बॉस, व्हाट इज द इंपॉर्टेंस ऑफ नीट? आप मत करिए कि बच्चे भाग रहे हैं, अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं, हम उसको रोक के उसको मोबाइल फोन देके बैठ रहे हैं। सो दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट नॉट ओनली फॉर किड्स बट ऑल्सो फॉर अस। From the day I have started focusing on this, I park my car almost like half a kilometer from the place where I stay. So मेरी parking अब मैंने change कर दी है, because दिन में 3-4 बार मैं जब भी जाता हूँ तो I deliberately walk to that distance. Otherwise, when I was in my corporate world, one day I calculated my whole day steps was not more than 600 steps. So my home to my car door to my office से then again car to my home, मैं पूरे दिन में half a kilometer भी नहीं walk कर रहा था पूरे दिन में। And imagine what health consequence I must be paying because of not focusing on this need. So it focuses on increased low level daily physical activity. This includes every activity that we do which expends energy, example walking to the office, grocery store, etc., doing daily chores, taking the stairs instead of lift, gardening, standing instead of sitting. You know, so next time if I'm doing the presentation, I'll make it a point that मैं खड़े होकर present करूं। Now, calorie deficit, now ये होता क्या है? This is very important thing for you to know, because अगर आप ये समझ लिया, and especially if you are going for a weight loss program or a fit program, this is something that you need to know. You know, whatever we eat, so there is a calorie intake that we do, which is like in, and some calories we burn every day. Now, जो कैलोरी हम बर्न करते हैं वो इस तरीके से हम बर्न करते हैं, we burn almost 5% of calorie through eat. Now, eat is exercise activity thermogenesis. Actually, matlab, when you go to a gym or you're going for your morning walk and all those stuff. So basically, if you see, it is contributing to 5% of your calorie expenditure that we do every day. 5% only. 15% contribution comes from need. So now you know the importance of this need over eat. सो यू नो, बहुत सारे लोग ऐसा सोचते हैं कि अगर आप जिम चले गए या मॉर्निंग एक्सरसाइज के लिए, नाउ यू हैव फ्रीडम टू ईट एनीथिंग एंड एवरीथिंग, बट इट इज नॉट लाइक दैट। आई मीन, ईट विल कंट्रीब्यूट ओनली टू 5%, वेयरएज नीट पे अगर आप फोकस करोगे तो दिस कंट्रीब्यूट्स ऑलमोस्ट 15%। एंड देन देयर इज ऑल्सो समथिंग नोन एज TEF, विच इज थर्मिक इफेक्ट ऑफ फूड, विच कंट्रीब्यूट्स टू ऑलमोस्ट 10%। सो इसके बारे में अलग से सेशन होएगा जब आप देखोगे कि हमें क्या फूड खाना चाहिए, क्या फूड टाइप खाना चाहिए, फूड में क्या चीज़ आप डालोगे या कौन से स्पाइसेस डालोगे तो उसकी TF बढ़ती है. So even that plays a very, very important role. And our BMR, which is our metabolic rate, that contributes to almost 70%. So if you see, after your BMR, the most important thing to focus is NEAT. So next time, whenever you are doing any activity, just make it a point कि instead of देखिए कि what choices you have, do you have an opportunity to walk, right? So this is some of the example कि अगर आपका वर्क कल्चर या वर्क पैटर्न किस टाइप का और आप कितनी एनर्जी आप बर्न करते हो बाय नीट, सो यू कैन फोकस. सो इफ यू आर अ चेयर बाउंड जॉब, अगर आप देखिए तो बहुत कम आपकी जो कैलोरी है वो बर्न हो रही है. सो हेंस यू नीड टू फोकस मोर ऑन नीट. So this is one of the easiest way, and hence why you see a lot of people focusing on आज हमने 10,000 steps किया. Now people go restless, they'll do 10,000 steps for a week or 10-15 days और फिर वो हो जाएगा अरे हमारा वजन कम नहीं हो रहा है. This is something which you build a lifetime habit, and hence you will see that even when you are 95, 98 years old, you are physically active, right? And some tips to increase the daily NEAT: increase your daily steps, gradually increasing it up to 10,000 steps a day. That's the best thing that you do. Self charting, get a standing desk. This is find substitutes for sedentary activities, walk briskly. All these things जो आप देखोगे, जो physical activities जो हम थोड़ी थोड़ी चीजें करते हैं, वो सारी चीजें will help you to increase your NEAT. Sitting for long is a new smoking. So that's how impactful it can be. And now shine, start your everyday with gratitude and optimism. Have your nutrition on time. Have a clear intentions and visualize and set clear intentions. Learn something new. The best part about this program is, the whole world is busy creating all these gadgets which will help you to measure. But after that measurement of what, you need to have a solution. And this is what you learn over here. This basic simple tips. I don't know what's your biggest take over here. मेरा जो सबसे बड़ा टेक था जब मैं ये पहली बार देख रहा था, is to have a fixed meal times versus the irregular meal times that I used to do. मैं रात को 1 बजे भी खा लेता था खाना, अगर लेट नाइट आया हूँ तो क्या फर्क पड़ता है, बिकॉज खाना. But now I am very cautious about the choices that we make. So this whole program, if you say, it will help you to make the right choices, and also it will help you to have a right health goals. Because कई बार अगर आप बीमार नहीं हो तो आपको ऐसा लगता है कि I am fit because I am not sick. That because if you don't invest it now, that choice will not be too longer available to you. And most important than exercise daily. Abhi recently, one of my friend, he called up Farooq, कि I've got all this skin allergies and ये वो चीज मैं क्या करूँ, I've done this, that, and skill पे मेरे पूरे rashes हो रहे हैं. And Farooq said, why don't you go for exercise? And he was like stunned. बोलते हैं कि his point was, how does he know that I don't go for exercise? I said, yeah, because अगर आप exercise नहीं करोगे तो कहीं ना कहीं उसकी consequence तो दिखाई देगी ना. So thank you. That's from my side. And over to Veda. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Raj, for explaining so beautifully. So, folks, a few takeaways. Let's summarize. First thing is, whatever timings you have in your food, as long as they are the right timings. मैं ये नहीं बोल रही हूँ कि रात को अगर 11:30 बजे खाना खा रहे हो तो consistently, continue that. No, please try and follow your, 7 to 7. Try and follow your eating timing. But if you're, say, eating between 12:30 to 1, try and, have that consistently. As Raj mentioned, everything, your sleep cycle, your stress, all of it impacts. And then finally, keep moving, right? Keep moving. So we are opening up for questions. I could already see, in the meantime, while I request Farooq to, answer that one question which is there on the chat, others can also either unmute themselves or type what they want. Dharmendra, when you have asked, what about dark chocolate, are you asking with respect to your sleep cycle? I know it was the caffeine slide that you had asked on. Is Dharmendra still there? Okay. Farooq, anyways, I think it was on sleep. If you can answer, someone will probably share with him.
What's the question?
What about dark chocolate? I know that when Raj was actually talking about caffeine, right? Caffeine intake impacting the sleep cycle. That's when he had actually asked about dark chocolate.
See,
Whether
yeah, I mean, dark chocolate is nutritionally good, but I'm pretty sure that nobody drinks dark chocolate. Okay, when you look at the label, of the dark chocolate, okay, you're not going to have pure cocoa over there, because pure cocoa is so bitter that you will need a lot of a lot of incentive to drink something like that. So what happens is that when people drink dark chocolate on a regular basis, they're actually drinking a lot of sugar, they're drinking a lot of milk, and the good nutritional part gets nullified by the bad aspects of the product that is in front of you. So if you want to have real cocoa, try it. I'm pretty sure you won't last for a week. Okay, but so overall, it's not a very brilliant idea to keep drinking dark chocolate and create a fourth meal. Also, very important thing to understand is that don't drink dark chocolate as a snack, or as something in between meals, or something well after dinner. Whatever you are eating, on this community, there's one thing that I'm very clear about, that if you want to improve your health, and if you want to have, a higher health span as compared to a lifespan, you must focus on your 3 meals. And each meal, you cannot extend beyond 45 minutes, because this is how you ensure that your organs are living for a longer period of time. To just give an example, that if you were, instead of 3 meals, let's say you were snacking in between, okay, in those 3 meals, and you were having 6 meals in a day, or 3 meals and 3 snacks. That means your pancreas have got to start working, your liver's got to start working separately. So when you're 50 years old, and let's assume that you are doing it from childhood, that means although you're 50 years old, your pancreas are almost as good as 100 years old. And that is the reason why I keep insisting on this factor, that please have only 3 meals. Okay, do not trouble your pancreas. Don't age your organs, beyond their own lifestyle. Preserve them, save them, and use it. So if you want to have dark chocolate, by all means, go ahead and do it, but have it with the meal. So let's say, for example, if you were having your breakfast and the last thing you're having your dark chocolate, for heaven's sake, go ahead and have it. But please check the label correctly. That are you drinking really dark chocolate, or are you drinking huge cups of sugar syrup along with it?
Right. Thank you so much, Farooq, for clarifying that. Yes, Commander Vadhera, please go ahead and ask your question. So we can't hear you. One second. Yes, now we can hear. Please go ahead. No, sorry, we just heard you in between. Can't hear again.
Now?
Yes.
Okay. So my question is about the jet lag. In case I have a jet lag, to get the body clock back into the normal rhythm, any suggestions which will help in making it up?
Yes, sir. Very, very good question. And today, with the amount of travel that everybody does, and especially foreign travel with different time zones and all, jet lag can really throw your circadian rhythm out of sync. And the best way to deal with it is good planning. Say, for example, if you are traveling, if you're traveling westwards, okay, you suddenly find that you have lesser jet lag as compared to if you are traveling east. All right. So suppose you are going to Europe, you feel pretty refreshed, okay, because you're gaining time. And when you're traveling east, it's exactly the opposite. So you feel well. So when you are traveling, there are a lot of people nowadays taking various medication for that, which I really recommend that you should not do. Okay, the best way to do it is good planning. For example, you were, say, going from here to Europe, all right? And you land up in Europe early in the morning. I can't hear you, sir. Can't hear you.
What I'm saying is, give me an example of I'm traveling end of the month to East Japan.
Okay.
So to
So,
be able
yes,
to
yes.
enjoy the first day after
Yes.
landing there, which is the best way?
So what time are you landing there?
So we are landing in the morning 8:30.
You're landing in the morning at 8:30. And what time are you taking off from here?
11 o'clock previous day.
11 in the afternoon.
11 in the forenoon via Singapore.
And you're reaching there at 8:30 in the morning.
8 o'clock in the morning, yeah.
Right. So the goal should be to ensure that you split that time difference between India and Japan, okay, and to sleep on the flight in between. That means if it's our 10 o'clock, it will probably be 12 o'clock or so. What is the time difference now? It's about 2.5 hours, 3 hours. 3.5 hours. So 10 will become
Ahead of
1.
us.
Yeah. So what you should be doing is that by around 8 o'clock or so in the evening, Indian time, IST, go to sleep in the aircraft. All right. And you wake up over there at 8:30 in the morning when your flight lands, so that you've done the best thing that you can possibly do to not break your sleep cycle. And then, very important, because they are ahead, okay, you will tend to not sleep at the right time. So you must ensure, because when it will be 10 o'clock over there the next day, when you reach there, it will be like 6:30 in Indian time. Right?
Yeah, 5:30, yeah.
10 o'clock will be 6:30, so
5:30
3.5 hours, 6:30. So you must fight that and deliberately make an attempt to go to sleep at that time. Because it will be very easy for people to not sleep at 10 o'clock over there that day. And hence, what is going to happen is they will end up sleeping at 1:30 in the morning. And again, they will be in this continuously vicious cycle of the body remain. You're in Japan, but your body is still in India. Okay. So you have to be very, very delicate. And do not, for heaven's sake, you reach there at 8:30 in the morning, do not sleep from 8:30 in the morning till 10 o'clock Japan time, so that when it is 10 o'clock at Japan time, you are tired enough to really go to sleep, because which is actually that 10 o'clock is actually your 6:30. So your body will tend to not sleep. But because you are tired, the probability will be higher that you will go to sleep. But if you land up over there at 8:30 in the morning, you sleep in the afternoon, then there is very low chance that you're going to sleep at 10 o'clock. Because that 10 o'clock will be our 6:30.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you land over there at 8:30, don't sleep, and make sure that it's 10 o'clock at night. You really deliberately, lights off, curtains drawn, and you're asleep. And then, very important to wake up at your 6 or 7 o'clock, whatever is the time that you want to wake up. Because that time again, that 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning is the toughest time to wake up in Japan, because that will be your 2:30 or 3 in the morning over here. And that cycle, if you don't fix it on the very first day, the jet lag continues for 3-4 days. Sometimes older people can't even set the clock even for a week. And by the time they set that clock, it's time to come back. So again, you are into a reverse cycle. So very, very important to make sure that everybody does not sleep after they land, and they sleep at 10 o'clock. That will ensure that your body clock will get set.
Yeah, actually, it's easier said than done, because in the flight, getting a sleep is a big challenge. So anyway, let us see how it goes and all. You try it. Basically, you should consider that you follow the routine of what you would be doing in India at that time. And that's what you have to keep in mind, basically.
Yeah,
Try
and then to make sure that you adjust that time, na, sir, because the 3.5 hours you got to make an adjustment, na.
Yeah.
So once you're in Japan, so the secret is that when you are traveling, the foreign country that you are going to, you have to adjust to that time as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Let's see.
So in
Thank you.
Japan, you can't be an Indian time. You have to get to Japan time quickly.
Yeah, yeah. You convert the Indian time into Japan time and try and adjust that. Okay.
Yes, adjust to Japan time. And the best way to do it is when you land, don't sleep, and sleep at 10 o'clock at night sharp on that day. That will be your best chance to beat jet lag.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Farooq, for explaining so patiently and step by step. Even I've got a very good clarity, now. So yeah, folks, thank you so much. It was a great time. Thanks to Raj and thanks to Farooq. It was an absolutely great session. While we close tonight, uh, keep in mind what you have learned today on NEAT. Increase, monitor your steps in whatever way you can, whether it's your, Google, even Google mobile app or whatever it is, or if you have a watch, great, because when you monitor it, then you will understand how low or what's your activity level, and then you can take a corrective action, right? So yes, the next session from us will be on Friday, and another very good topic that's on the importance of protein and why we are all talking about all plant protein. Okay, that's it from us for tonight. Have a great evening. Please sleep early and wake up refreshed for Anant Chaturdashi tomorrow. Good night. God bless.